Why was Jesus in so much anguish? Because he's sweating blood. I think it was just the knowledge of what was to come. And so therefore he already knew the pain he was going to experience. His body was just like being fully man, just had to expel all those emotions somehow.
Because he was about to be crucified and he didn't want to die.
Well, he was sweating blood, I believe, because of the path he was on. He knew what was ahead of him as the Son of Man, a human being, the anguish and the pain and the torture of a crucifixion. Also knew the plan that God had for him, which was to be the sacrifice for all of mankind and take on the sin of the world. And because he's taking on the sin of the world, he's also going to be separated from his Father. And that may have even been more of the anguish that he was facing.
The disciples fell asleep.
I think Jesus was in so much pain because he knew that everything he was gonna go through, and he knew that he was gonna carry all of our sins.
But I think it was a whole lot more than that when he was sweating blood. I think he had on himself the sins of all of us, the whole world, from Adam to the present. And he had a lot of weight on him that was anguish for people that were lost, for people that would maybe yet come to him.
Discussing with God, or basically begging God to allow this cup to pass from him. So he was in a lot of anguish. He was in a ton of emotional and mental stress, and that would cause a lot of heartache, a lot of stress in your body, and that was the reason that he was sweating blood.
When he says not my will, but your will in the garden, it tells me that his character, that he fully submits to God the Father.
I think at that moment when he is to that point in his prayer where he has accepted what is before him, he's submitted himself to God's plan for the salvation of the world. His going to the cross for us, his fulfilling the plan of sacrifice, tells me that he will never, ever forsake us or leave us. He is for us and not against us. And he proved that by going to the cross and doing what he did for us on the cross.
I think it says that he's selfless because he wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about the millions of people that he would save.
He had to know what was coming. He had to know what he was submitting himself to, and the evil of the world and the punishment for 3 days. And he had to know everybody's sins is just immense, of the entire world. And so to me, to know that he had me on his mind in that time is just blows my mind.
He was so far above the rest of us and at the same time equal to us. And yet he still decided to draw the line saying, the Lord, it's his will, not mine. I think it's an incredible testament to his humility and his reverence to the Father.